Accessing peace. Existing without violence, with the ability to calmly resolve conflict. Downloading love. An overwhelming, deep, positive affection towards others. Activating liberty. Living your life as you see fit without infringing on the lives of others.
Welcome to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. Online at fppradio.com. Part 3. Yeah, that's right. This is part 3 of the episode that first aired 1 week ago. This is also the final episode for 2017. Yeah, that's right. The new year is coming, and yes, I know it's just arbitrary dates on calendars, and there are lots of different New Years depending on which calendar you're using, but the calendar that's used by the vast majority of the people around the world says that the year is coming to an end in just a couple of days. Monday is New Year's Day. So, what are we doing? Yeah, we're talking about New Year's goal setting, or what the article from Lifehack that I've been going over refers to as New Year's resolutions. And again, I know that a lot of people make New Year's resolutions, but not very many people stick to them because New Year's resolutions are often very, very vague. Whereas goals are much more specific. You know if you've met your goal. If your goal is to fit into a size 2 dress, or your goal is to wind up being able to wear that pair of jeans that you've not fit in for 5 years, you know that you have met that goal. Whereas if your goal is just something of, I want to work out more, well, what's that mean? Go to the gym once a month? Whereas right now you're going 0 times a month? Yeah, technically that's more. But how do you know if you've necessarily met your goal? If your goal is something specific of, I want to go to the gym 3 times per week, you know when you do that. But again, define more. So, we're going over, again, a list here of 50 New Year's resolution ideas. And again, I'm helping you turn these resolution ideas into goal ideas, assuming that you're one of the people that wants to set some goals. And again, it doesn't have to begin on Monday, doesn't have to begin on Tuesday because you were out partying really late Sunday night, and then Monday's just recovery day, and then you start your new year on January 2nd for some reason. It doesn't have to start on any day specifically that other people start their resolutions or start working towards their goals. So pick a day for you because they're all just arbitrary days anyway. But, again, 50 items. I've gone through 30 of them so far in episode 505, 506. Links for those episodes will be in the show notes. Number 31 on the list here from Lifehack of 50 New Year's resolution ideas. Learn to cook. And again, this is a very broad sort of thing, so make it a little bit more specific. But again, they have some info here about why you might want this to be one of your goals or your resolutions. Cooking, they say, is one of the essential skills that every man and woman should possess. So not just, kitchens where women, no, everybody should know how to cook. It allows you to save money. It allows you to eat food that you love just the way you like it, and might even impress a date with a lovely meal that you have prepared and you share under candlelight. If you use these useful tips, and again, there are links throughout this to various things. They say if you use these useful tips, keep your kitchen clean and avoid common mistakes, nothing stands between you and a 3-course meal that you have prepared. Maybe you want to go see the doctor more often. And again, some people just go to the doctor to go to the doctor. If you don't need to go to a doctor, don't go to a doctor. But at the same time, they do say that regular checkups, they say, are a must, no matter how healthy you are. I wouldn't necessarily say a must, but, regular checkups are good. Just like you wouldn't wind up never taking your car to a mechanic because, well, I know how to change my oil and fix my brakes. Well, there might still be other things that somebody more experienced can diagnose. But again, I digress. And again, this ties in with other things about staying healthy. Number 33 on the list, reinvent yourself. And again, this is one of those things to where, like, how do you know? Because it's very, very vague. But this is one that you definitely will know. They say if you don't quite feel happy no matter what you do, maybe it's time to make some serious changes in your life. Reinventing yourself can give you a whole new perspective on life and take you in directions that you may have never dreamed were even possible. Number 34. Stop being late all the time. And I know this doesn't apply to everybody, just like the get in shape doesn't apply to everybody because maybe you're already in shape. So if it doesn't apply to you, I'm not talking to you. But I know there's a lot of people that are all the time late. And I would say that people that are all the time late don't really respect other people. But I'm not going to go off on a tangent about that. Instead, I will read the paragraph here that they have. They say punctuality is a virtue that is held in high regard in our society. Being on time is the mark of a true professional, a dependable friend, and a caring partner. So it's a good idea to pick up a few tricks that can help you stay on time. And again, links to various things on how to help you wind up staying on time or maybe even being early. 35, they say, learn how to be more self-reliant. Technology, a relatively decent government, and corporations offering cheap, ready-to-eat food and all manner of useful tools. These things have made us somewhat spoiled, and we often get well into adulthood without having what it takes to be independent and self-reliant. These skills are important to learn. And again, they have links to several things in here on self-reliance, etc. Number 36 on the list here of 50 possible New Year's resolutions or goals. Turn your hobby into your career. If we could all manage to marry fun and productivity and be able to make money doing what we love, we'd be much more content and well-balanced as a society. This may not always be possible, but there are cases where a hobby can be turned into a lucrative career. There are links for that as well. Stay tuned. There's more here on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio.
You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals, bitcoins, or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates, like Namecheap, Spendabit, and Amazon at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. Or you can shop directly from FPP with Bitcoin in the Bitcoin store. That's shop.fppradio.com. The Doublespeak Dictionary by Leslie Starr O'Hara satirizes the marked difference between the ideal of we the people and the reality of we the elite, while offering an insightful glimpse into the clockworks of the totalitarian mind. Ever irreverent but never irrelevant, the Doublespeak Dictionary serves as a subversive and humorous but timely reminder that the emperor has no clothes. The Doublespeak Dictionary is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores.
You're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio with Darryl W. Perry, online at fppradio.com.
Welcome back to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com. Going over a list of 50 possible New Year's resolutions or goals. And again, maybe you're not the type of person that sets New Year's resolutions to begin on New Year's Day. That's fine. Maybe you want to, set some goals at some point and you're having trouble figuring out exactly which ones. Well, here's a good list to choose from. And again, not saying that you have to pick from the list, but maybe something on this list sparks something in you to where you know what? I want to do this. Number 37 on the list. And this is a very long list. We're on part 3 of this, where I started going over the list last Friday. So definitely not recapping to where I am right now. Number 37, get over your ex. And again, not all of these apply to everybody. So if one of these doesn't apply to you, I'm not talking to you for a very brief moment. It may be better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all, but it still hurts like crazy. Healing a broken heart is a process and does take time, but there are ways and tricks to make it through a difficult time without too much pain. And again, plenty of links throughout some of these paragraphs for various things. Number 38, learn to control your emotions. Uncontrolled anger can get you into a lot of trouble, but so can things like jealousy and pride. Gaining control over your feelings allows you to keep a level head and think more rationally, even during emotionally charged conflict situations. Number 39, be more responsible. A big part of growing up into a mature adult is the ability to think before making a decision. It's important to take responsibility for one's actions and avoid blaming everything on someone else, just as it's important to protect your family and to provide for them. And again, there are some people that will wind up saying that everything that happens, you're responsible for everything. Well, there are some times where, like things actually are out of your control. Let's say you're walking down the street and a car jumps the curb and then runs over you. Is it your fault that you got run over, or is it somebody else? So again, don't take responsibility for things that you didn't do, but things that you did do, those are the things you need to take responsibility for. Number 40, learn more about art, music, culture, etc. The best way to fit in when talking to a variety of people from different backgrounds is to have a well-rounded education. Topics like art, music, history, and culture often baffle people, but they can be easy to comprehend if you spend enough time learning about them using helpful websites and online courses. And of course, there are links to various articles here to where they have links to stuff about art, some of the websites that they mention, and the online courses. Number 41, and this is something that I wish a lot of people would wind up doing, spend less time on social media. Let me say that again, not in a sing-song voice, even though I do like doing the sing-song voice every now and then. Spend less time on social media. Some people might not spend hours in front of a TV or hours playing video games, but social media has become a serious addiction among a wide range of demographics. And there was even the article not too long ago where the guy that created the Facebook like button wound up saying that he was done with social media because he knows how it affects the brain, the little dopamine rush of, ooh, I've got notifications. And there are reasons that the social media sites have the color schemes that they have, because they know the blue catches your attention, and then the little reds that pop up whenever new notifications and dopamine hit, and I've just got to keep clicking more things. It's fine to stay in touch with friends and family, but if you consistently spend more than an hour every day on social media, it's time to make a change. Number 42, learn to defend yourself. And no, this is not talking about defending yourself online because, well, somebody said a thing and somebody's wrong on the internet. I've got to be on there all the time to count it. No, this is talking about actually defending yourself in the like real physical space. Being able to ensure your own safety and the safety of those you love is a very important skill set to have. It's not all about groin kicks and palm strikes. However, you need to also learn how to conduct yourself and what kind of behavior to look out for in others. Number 43 on the list is very similar to numbers 16 and 17. 16 is find a significant other. 17 is have better sex and more intimacy. And I had to scroll up, number 43, be more romantic. Romance is often the first casualty in a longer, more serious relationship, but it doesn't have to wither away. A few romantic gestures here and there can keep the passion going for decades. It will be fun, even if you're not the romantic type. And again, links to various things. The one for not the romantic type is an article to 30 tips for how anyone can be romantic. Number 44 on the list of 50 New Year's resolutions, nay, New Year's goals to have. Start remembering important dates. And no, we're not talking about remember why December 15th of 1791 was important. We're not talking about, why people should celebrate July 4th. We're talking about the really important dates that affect our day-to-day life. And again, it says, speaking of romance and keeping a serious relationship fun, you don't want to keep forgetting birthdays, anniversaries, and other important dates. There are plenty of memory tricks that take very little time to master, so you'll never forget another date again. Number 45, be more social. But, Darryl, you said to spend less time on social media. Yeah, because we're talking about actually being social in real human experience where you can actually see and touch other people. You should only ever touch other people when they give you consent to touch them. But stay tuned. There's more here on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio.
In 1999, Darryl W. Perry began a search for traditional values, which led him down a path to the ideas of liberty. He tells the story in A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty. Of the book, Dr. Brian Sovereign says, sometimes it's funny, and sometimes I think it's crazy, but it's always authentic. Find A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty by Darryl W. Perry on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, ask for A Rebel's Journey wherever books are sold, or visit arebelsjourney.com.
It is the year 91,001 BCE. Witness humanity's origins in Hyperchronius, a classic role-playing game for Windows PCs, with a story like no other game before. A liberty-oriented experience that is not to be missed. Go to ZOG.Ninja to get your copy of Hyperchronius today. Use the code FPP to get $1 off. Hyperchronius, ZOG.Ninja, code FPP.
Hey, this is Scott from the ANCAP Barbershop, and you're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio with Darryl W. Perry.
Hey, welcome back to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com. This is part 3 of a 3-part series talking about New Year's resolutions, New Year's goals. And yeah, I know, I don't normally do multi-part episodes. And I'm surprised that it's become a 3-part as well. And we'll get back into the list here of the 50 New Year's resolution ideas from lifehack.org. And again, I'm not a fan of the term New Year's resolution because I think that those are often very vague. And you don't necessarily know if you have met the resolution. Whereas if you have a goal, you're much more likely to actually meet the goal, especially if you wind up having an accountability partner. And again, maybe one of your goals is to wind up having some long-term investments. Well, they actually mention in this long list about saving some money. Well, maybe you want to put that in what some people refer to as the real cold storage, precious metals, gold and silver, because it's real easy to dig into that piggy bank or, the fire safe or whatever, where you keep those extra 1s and 5s and 20s. It's real easy to dig in and grab that. And, well, I really need to go, buy this latte chino frappa mocha. It's a lot harder to wind up, taking a gold or silver coin down to the Starbucks. So maybe you want to get some precious metals and start your saving that way, in a way that you're not necessarily as easily going to be able to spend it. Now, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage can help you do this, and they've been helping people since 1977 buy and sell precious metals. So maybe you've got some gold or silver that you need to get rid of for some reason. They can help you with that. You want to get your hands on some gold, get your hands on some silver, maybe some platinum, some palladium. They can help you with that as well. And Roberts & Roberts Brokerage is a cryptocurrency preferred business, meaning that they would much rather have your cryptocurrencies in exchange for precious metals than they would prefer to have your dollar bills. That they want the crypto. And to show that they are crypto preferred, they've permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in cryptocurrency. So call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760. That's 800-874-9760. Or visit them online at rrbi.co. That's rrbi.co. Again, going over a list here of 50 New Year's resolutions, nay, New Year's goals. And again, you don't have to have any New Year's resolutions, but if you're going to have some, here's a good list to maybe start to look at, to pick something from. Number 45, be more social. And yes, I know that number 41 was spend less time on social media. That's not actually being social. It's not. They say being a man or a woman about town has its perks. You get to have more fun, meet new people, and find out interesting things, but you can also develop leadership skills and learn to work in a team. Even if you're an introvert or you're very shy and feel uncomfortable talking to others, there are ways to become a fairly active member of a community. And again, they have a lot of links here. So be sure you follow the link that is in the show notes to this main article. And then from there, you can click any of the links that you want to. You can click all the links if you want as well. But again, there are a lot of links. Number 46, start being more creative. There are times when we get mentally fatigued and our creativity goes out the window. This is particularly bad if your job or hobby depends on you coming up with fresh ideas and thinking outside the box. As with anything else, there are many resources that can help you spark your creativity in a number of different ways. And speaking of creativity, maybe you want to express yourself artistically. And again, these are more along that New Year's resolution line, not the New Year's goal setting, because again, how do you define, yes, I have achieved my goal of being more creative because I drew something that didn't look like a stick figure that one time. I have expressed myself artistically because I made a doodle. And yes, I said doodle, not doo-doo. Those are two completely different things. Again, express yourself artistically. While some of us are more logical with a scientific mind, most people still have a bit of a creative spark in them. Expressing yourself in some creative, artistic way is a great form of stress relief and helps keep your mind sharp. Some of these activities will help you stay active and burn some calories. So, go in the art, write, craft, make a DIY project, whatever makes your soul free. And I know that in a lot of places they have these sort of like art and wine nights at various bars or restaurants to where you drink a glass of wine or two or 3 or 4, but maybe you want to go. One of the earlier things up here was drink less. Number 21, drink less. So maybe have only a glass of wine while you paint with a bunch of other people that are learning how to paint as well. Yeah, maybe that's a way to express your artistic abilities or learn to do so. Stay tuned. There's more here on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com.
You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. That's fans.fppradio.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up in any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com. That's getcell411.com.
You're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com.
We're coming to the end of the list. It's not like the end of the world as we know it. That's right, we're going over a list here of 50 New Year's resolution ideas. Why? Well, because it's almost the end of the year. And this is also the end of a 3-part series that began last Friday. Again, 50 ideas for New Year's resolutions that I'm helping you try to maybe turn into goals instead of just resolutions, because goals are much more definitive and you know if you have achieved them. Number 48, face your fears and insecurity. Well, which one exactly? Because, there are some fears that you might not ever want to face. Like, I not that it's a fear that I think, oh no, this is going to happen at any time. But is there a tiny part to where, I'm afraid of, say, some psycho axe murderer? I'm not just going to go around town looking, hey, is there a psycho axe murderer around here that I can, face my fear against? Again, it's not like an irrational fear, but if I were ever in that situation, yeah, I would be afraid. Not talking about that at all. What they mention here, they say you'll find this particular point masked beneath other New Year's resolutions, but fear and insecurity are often the cause of several problems that we want to address. You need to think of it as surviving and controlling your fear rather than overcoming it, and it will enable you to shed off a lot of insecurities that you have. And again, several links there. Number 49. Maybe you want to start writing a book or keeping a journal. They say you'd be surprised to know just how many people out there have an interest or have an interesting story to tell, but they lack the confidence and skill to write everything down. Even if it's just a few random thoughts scribbled out daily in a journal, you shouldn't be afraid to give writing a go with a few tips and tricks. And again, links there for those things, specifically tips and tricks. They are linkable, or rather clickable, to other things. And number 50. That's it. We're at the end of the list. Number 50. Stick to the good, healthy habits that you have developed. The last and most important point to mention is that all the positive changes you've made have to be permanent. You will need to work on sticking with the good habits you have adopted until they just become a natural part of who you are. This is how you achieve true self-improvement. That's it. We made it through this 3-part series, the list of 50 New Year's goals. Let me know. Did you set any New Year's resolutions? Did you set any New Year's goals? And don't forget, every Friday, I answer your questions. Send those over, ama.fppradio.com.
The podcasts of FPP Radio are licensed under Copy Heart, We believe that copying is a form of flattery and do not abide by the copyright laws. Those laws serve to restrict the flow of ideas which no one can really own. Copying is an act of love. Love is not subject to law. If you enjoy the show, consider joining the Fans program and get perks like ad-free versions of Peace, Love, Liberty Radio and FPP Radio News, and also get a copy of the monthly newspaper FPP News. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com.